So I'm back today with another video, and the reason for this video is because a few people reached out to me to let me know that they really liked the last video, and they had a few questions that they wanted to ask me about being in these energies. So I just wanted to talk about that for a few minutes and see if I could provide some clarity. So I've been in this work for 20 years, and I woke up as an awakened child, right? And you can read my backstory. I worked with the Zeta Reticula through my childhood with their hybridization program, and that's all in my backstory. And so I was awake as a child, and then I had cancer in 2000, and that was really the crisis that kind of like blew the doors wide open for me, right? But before that, in 97, I had a red pill moment through my cousin. So I have been really a critical thinker and in my awareness for a very, very long time, okay? And I kind of grew up with the ascension process, if you will, because in 2012, when Gaia decided to shift fully into the spiritual ascension, right? So the spiritual self went first, and then the physical body is the now, which is why we're seeing everything so physicalized through the rioting and the protests and all of that sort of stuff. So back then in 2012, I was already ready. I was already doing a lot of the work, and I had been doing the work in my own practice since like 2005, I think. I had my first office. So going back to 2005, when I first started doing this work, we were working deeply in the chakra system, and we were working with the meridians and doing all kinds of work to clear the chakras, open the chakras, purge the chakras. And that was a lot of very deep work back then. And then from 2012, when we went into the spiritual ascension process, it brought us into a different place because we were no longer accessing the information in the same way, right? Prior to 2012, it was mostly crown-based work that we were doing in order to connect in and access the higher realms. And now we're accessing in the heart center. We're going from heart space, going through, and then going up into the ground chakra. So a lot of the work has changed. And now, having been in that part of the work for all of these last 8 years, I'm seeing the work change again. In 2017, in October 2017, we hit another cycle. And then in 2020, January 13th, we saw the bifurcation of 3D, 4D really starting to take effect. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that split of 3D and 4D. So those that are seeing the rainbows and having the higher line experience are more in that 4D state of being. And the ones that are still attached to the stuff that's playing out with the rioting and the protests and all are more aligned in the 3D state of thinking, right? We can see it, like me, I can see it, I can take it and I can observe it, but I don't take it into my field. In other words, I don't allow myself to become emotionally attached to whatever is playing out, because I recognize that those souls that are engaging in that way chose to participate for the process of waking everybody up on the earth plane. Those that are still not awake are going to be awakened through that, right? I don't need that because I'm already awakened and I'm in the work, and my work is to assist and support others through their work, whether that is through the free content that I share, or when somebody is needing to go deeper because they can't move beyond where they feel themselves stuck, then they can have either a personal session with me, or they can take some classes, or I have plenty of prior recorded classes on understanding soul contracts, understanding that empathing is a 3D term that was part of the old soul contract that was terminated in 2012 when we went into Ascension on December 21st, 2012, right? Those enslavement contracts ended back then. That meant that we were no longer being abducted. We were no longer being the light worker. So we were not seeing ourselves as having to heal someone else, right? That was a program that was running. Now we are light keepers, light holders, light bearers. And so we hold the light so that somebody else can find their way through us holding the light. That's how this has all changed. And I know many are not aware of this, but this is how it is right now, right? So what's important here is to have this awareness that the density, the heaviness of the energy going back all those years prior to really, I'm going to say, the point of October 2017, and then certainly on January 13th of this year, that the energy changed again. And it's not requiring us to go into the depths of the chakra system and excavate everything and go back into the past, because now the energy is moving so fast that we don't want to be in the past. We don't want to be in the future either. We want to be in present moment, because that's how we are now navigating this reality and creating as a conscious co-creator all that our heart desires. And if you're unsure what that means, check out my prior video, because that's where I explain conscious co-creation and the art of manifestation or materialization, right? Because it's that fast now. So we don't want to get caught up in all of this heavy duty work, because we've been there. We've done that, okay? And even if you haven't done that and you weren't awake back in, 2012 and beyond, or even beyond January of this year, it's okay, because guess what? Your higher self is guiding you in each moment. The only thing that you have to do is get out of your way, which means get out of your head. Most people are so entrenched in their head that they do not allow their higher self to come through. The ego is always wanting to run the show. It's always having its voice. It's very loud. It sometimes can be obnoxious. And the higher self is very gentle and very quiet. And so it takes a lot of tuning in, and it takes a lot of practice to hear it, right? I've had 4 of them come through. 4 of them very specifically come through to help me now with this leg of my journey. And that started back in, I want to say like 2015, okay, where the first one came through, and then it was just a process. Do we need to know the name of our higher self? No, most of it is frequency, and it's just like any being, any guide that comes to you. If you're not getting the name of the guide, don't stress it, because they operate in frequency. Everything is frequency. We're a frequency. We, through the 3rd dimensional paradigm, are attached to names. Gotta let that go, right? And just work with the energy that's presenting, because we all have a unique energy signature. So now what's important about this is, in this new energy, and this has been happening for quite some time, I could tell you, as for me, in 2015, October of 2015 was very significant, because I had a template wipe back then that took me down for 3 months. And when we have a template wipe, it takes a lot of the old stuff away. I don't have attachments. I don't have attachments to things. I just don't. And so a lot of the old 3rd dimensional stuff, I just don't have an attachment to, right? So that's why I can be in the work all the time, and it keeps me in the higher levels. But what's important to know is that the body is always reworking, even if we're not aware of it. When we have those pains in our neck, where we're feeling the pain on the sides of the neck, it's because light codes are coming in and they're restructuring our molecular structure. Our cells are changing. Our body is shifting from a carbon-based body to a light body, and there's different light body frequencies. So we're shifting through all of those different frequencies to get into the highest form of light body, right? And that avatar consciousness, if you will. So why is this important? Because when we're having these, and especially the neck pain, the neck is forming new glands. Everything is new. When we're seeing the flashing lights in our eyes with our eyes closed, that's the unification of the 2 halves of the brain. So that veil that's down the center, I forget what they call that, the corpus callosum or something like that, that's down the center of the brain, that veil that keeps the two halves separated, because that's more separation. You guys getting this? It's really important. Everything has been orchestrated to keep us separate from knowing ourselves as source. You're already source. You just have to embrace that and surrender to it. So the unification process, a lot of you are seeing the flashing light with your eyes closed. That is the beginning stages of the merging of the two halves of the brain. That we start to see happening more so when somebody starts to see the triple digit numbers, or they're feeling very drawn to specific numbers, like 1144, even, instead of the 111 or 222, etc. And so we start with that, and we see the unification process, and that is really the trigger of us starting to merge the two halves within ourselves. Okay, so the higher self already knows how to do all of this. That's the magic of the higher self. It's the human that has to get out of the way, and the human has to let go of what it thinks it knows, of what it thinks it needs, right? Because we don't know. Our higher self always knows. Go back to my last video. If I'm going to manifest something, I'm going to just throw it out to my universe and then get the heck out of the way, because I don't know what's coming through. It's going to be better than I could even imagine for myself. Okay, and this is how it works. So we have to kind of let go of all that stuff. Now, the old way of working the work, because we felt like we had to work, was to dig deep into the past, to make it very heavy, to make it feel very, very heavy, to go into this level of forgiveness, forgiving them, forgiving us. If you look at it from the soul contract, you would see that every soul signed up to do exactly what they're doing, to play exactly who they are, and to enter your life in exactly the way that they have, because that's what you asked for through the soul contract. When we realize that we're participating in all of it, then we can release it and let it go and just accept it and embrace it and say, wow, this was the way it was supposed to happen. And look at me, I'm waking up now, and I'm getting all of this. And from the perspective of the energy that we're in, which is why I keep posting it and sharing on it, because it's so important for us to understand how it's feeling in our physical body so that we can do a better job navigating it. We're not wanting to delve into the past. I don't want to look at my past. It's been there, it's done that. It's over. I don't feel connected to it at all, not in any way, shape, or form. Right? Whatever it was, there's no connection there, because I maintain a state of presence, divine neutrality. I very rarely get triggered. It would be something that's like out of the norm that would trigger me to go deeper and clear something else. And in that moment, I'm aware I'm triggered. So I'm still in the work, doing the work, because I don't let it trigger me and then it runs away with my emotional system. It doesn't work that way, right? So one of the things that was in the past too that I get asked all about all the time is working out. You guys know from prior videos and prior conversations that we've had that I had to let go of the heavy physical gym working out, lifting weights and everything, because my body can't handle it, just can't handle it anymore. I do light stuff, but not anything like I was doing. And the heaviness exhausts the body that's already exhausted. And the body is exhausted from integrating all of these high level light codes, right? So we are working even when we think we're not working. And this is why you're feeling exhausted. There's nothing wrong with you. You can go to the doctor. Do you know how many people I have come in for a session, and I will read their energy and sit with them and work on whatever their healing stuff is. And they always tell me that, I went to the doctor after I saw you, and the doctor said that there's nothing there. So I'm going to do the work that you gave me, because it's got to be energy that is keeping me stuck in this way. What it is, so it's very important to have that awareness. Okay, now the new work, okay, because I'm seeing a lot of interesting stuff that is being posted all over the place about how we're doing the work. We are not working, right? How we do the work now is to be in acceptance, to be in surrender, surrendering to what is presenting, what is showing up, and then allowing ourselves to work through that, to understand that that is just what is needing to clear in the moment and not getting stuck in it. Okay, that's really super important. Working from heart center, keeping everything light and airy, and staying in a place of love. yeah, you might come up against conflict that is making you feel uncomfortable, or something that you see that's uncomfortable. That's okay. Obviously, it's triggering you because there's something that is within, that is still held within, that needs to come up, that needs to be released. You know, sometimes we can look at somebody beating the heck out of somebody in a video that is pertaining to the riots and the protests, and that is so disturbing to us. We think because it's disturbing to us because in this lifetime we would not be that person that would be beating that person up, because it's just not in our component makeup to do that. But what we're forgetting is that we're also carrying cellular memory from lifetimes where we were that person beating that person up, because in this loop cycle of karmic reincarnation, right, to try to get it right, we have kept coming back and kept coming in and kept coming in and kept coming in at so many different levels, right? We've been the victim, we've been the hero, we've been the abuser, we've been the saint, we've been the devil, we've been it all, okay? And so if you're seeing that and it's bringing something up, it's triggering some kind of memory, accept that, acknowledge it, that it makes you uncomfortable, makes you feel bad, but don't get mad at yourself, and don't get mad at what you're seeing, because it's just meant, again, in this holographic reality that we are engaged in, to help you clear and let go. And all that is for you to acknowledge that what you're feeling and just let it pass through your field, right? That's how the work works. It is very simple. There is no heavy work anymore. It's just not, right? If you're dealing with something that you can't shift, again, you can always book a one-on-one session with me, and I will help shift that in you, and we'll use frequency and transmission, just like I'm doing in this session now. Frequency and transmission is coming through to help you. If you're desiring to have a shift through this video, then that will happen for you, right? But if it doesn't happen for you, there's resistance. And when there's resistance, resistance equals pain. And when there's pain, there's suffering. So if there's suffering, it might take more than this video. So connection is another thing. Connecting to the higher self, connecting to your team, your realm, whatever that looks like for you, right? For me, it's always my higher self. I don't know anything different. When I'm receiving downloads or information, it always feels like me. It's not anything ever outside of me, and it's always in that perspective of myself. So when I write, I'm channeling my higher self. I'm working through that. Love, being a love in every single moment, because when we're at love, we're radiating that out, we're raising our vibration, and we're connecting to all things. Do you realize that when you are passing somebody by and you're looking them directly in the eyes, you're exchanging light codes with that person? Okay, that is really important, because we want to look at and acknowledge people, so that if we're coming and operating from a place of love, that we're transmitting light codes, and their higher self will take that in if it's needed. If they are resistant and free will activates and free will says, I don't want any of that, they're not going to take it in. It's like anything else, right? In order for somebody to have a healing, they have to want the healing. We can't make that happen for them. We can't force a healing on them. They're going to have to want that healing. Okay. What else? Oh, so light movement, right? Because no heavy movement, because it exhausts the body too much, and then the body can't process the light codes that are coming in. So light movement. So just maybe some gentle yoga, or some light dance, or some light working out, or some walking, connecting with the earth. That's another great one, right? Light grounding, speaking it into existence. Like me, I'm always speaking where I want to be in my using the highest vibrational words. That's why you'll always hear me use words like appreciation, faith, desire. Those are all high vibrational words, right? Speaking, light grounding, writing, light grounding in what it is that we're desiring to bring in, to manifest, to create in our reality as a co-creator. Getting in the sun, that's another one. That's why I'm always posting pictures of the sun, connecting to Gaia, getting in the earth, earthing, very, very important. These are the ways that we are ascending now. These are the things that are helping us elevate our consciousness and activate our ascension process. You guys are already ascending. If you're watching my videos, if you're tuning into my work, You are already there. Stop questioning yourself. Stop doubting yourself. If you're tuning into me, you are there. Now what we're doing together is fine-tuning that frequency, fine-tuning that vibration, right? And that's my purpose here, is to share. It's to teach. It's to educate. It's to bring up what needs to be known. It's to simplify the process. Because when we're working heavy, we're not in the upper realm, and there is a great chance that we're going to be beating ourselves up for what we think we should be doing that we're not doing in that moment. I mean, think about that. How many times have you done that? Oh, I should be doing this, or I didn't do that meditation right. I didn't feel it. It didn't activate anything. That's hogwash, right? That's not real. And that, again, is the ego stepping forward for more separation. Let me show you where you didn't get it right, because now that's going to keep you down. It's going to keep you repressed. It's going to keep you playing in that lower, distorted third dimensional paradigm that says that you're not good enough to ascend, that you can't ascend, right? So, you know, and yeah, there might be people that are not going to ascend, the ones that are really destructive within themselves, that just don't see another way. But again, it's all chosen at the soul level. We have to let go of trying to control it and driving the bus. If your hands are on your steering wheel, let go. Because your higher self wants to help you. Your higher self wants to bring this all forward for you. Okay? So I try to take that in, and hopefully this resonates with you. This is how we do it. I've been in the work for years and years and years. I am a byproduct of seeing it now amplified in a new way, seeing all the changes that are amplifying our field. And, you know, it's just not hard work anymore, okay? And we have to be understanding that we're coming into all new energies again. This next half of 2020 is going to change. These energies that we've been playing under, super duper heavy, right? Super heavy. I started to see in January the activation of the freedom codes that were coming in May, that was starting to ramp up for July 4th this year. They activated last July 4th, and now again this year, and they're still around us working through our field. But now we have all new codes coming in. We have those beautiful iridescent rainbow light codes coming in. Some of you are sharing back with me the beauty that you're experiencing, because now that you've seen my posts, you were activated to be able to receive those codes in, because you weren't aware, you didn't know. Now that you know and you've got activated to that, you'll start seeing that magic showing up for you all over. That's how this work works, right? We are activating each other. Every time you engage with me on a post, we're activating each other, we're assisting each other, we're supporting each other. It's just that I have been doing this work for what feels like centuries. So I am a little ahead of some in this game and behind others in this game, right? That's how it works. So I'm a work in progress too, just like all of you. I'm learning as I go constantly, but the process is for us to just be. And that's what I allow myself to be. I am me always in each moment. And that's what I want for you. So stop working hard, because we're not doing that. Anything or anyone that is coming to you telling you that you have to do this or you have to do that, that to me, there's an underlying something going on there, whether they don't realize it, and they might not realize that there's some kind of distortion playing out there. Because that's not how we're doing it. There is no hard anything. These energies are like a big giant wave that are just swooping in on all of us, collecting us up. And if we're free flowing, then we are going to ride that wave in the most magical of ways. Hey, Dre, Galactic Cat wants to say hello. So, and if we are not allowing ourselves to be, we're not going to ride that wave very efficiently, effectively, or successfully. Okay? So guys, please tune into your bodies, tune in, participate within your body, and see what your body is wanting from you. Okay? Here is some fun things that you can do. In the morning when you wake up, do a check. How am I feeling? What's taking place? Am I hearing a message? Am I hearing a song? This morning I woke up, my whole body and my head mostly was vibrating, right? Which is embodiment, the embodiment phase as we go through that. And then I heard this song. I heard the melody and I heard just a few words, like 4 words from it. I had to look it up. It was, I think it's called Blinded by the Light by the Weekend. And I just laughed at the name of it, Blinded by the Light. Yeah, that would be me, blinded by the light. I'm like always in the light, working, right? So, so play with that. What are you waking up to? How are you waking up in the morning? And are you doing my nighttime ritual, right? I've posted on this before. I've shared on this before. Nighttime ritual. Ask that the momentum of your thoughts slow down so that you can enter dream state, because we're doing heavy work there, clearing timelines. Number 2 is ask to be on the highest timeline available to you. Okay, very, very important. We want to be on the highest timeline going into dream state so that we're doing our work effectively, no matter what it is we're doing, whether we're counseling with our guides, our teams, our galactics, our future self, whatever, we're working, we're learning, we're teaching, whatever, it doesn't matter. We just want to be on that higher timeline, okay? And then pay attention as you're falling asleep. If you're having a hard time falling asleep, start to find appreciation for things. I appreciate my pillow. I appreciate my bed. I appreciate this warm room or this air-conditioned room or this comfortable comforter, whatever it is, right? Or I appreciate the day that I had. Go into appreciation, and I guarantee you, because it's such a high vibration, you're going to fall asleep right away, okay? Because that'll just bring you to where you need to be. All right, so hopefully you found something in this video that resonates with you. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button with the bell notification so that you'll be notified of new videos, because sometimes I'm in the higher realm and I forget to share these videos in different places, like my Instagram feed and my Twitter feed, but this way you'll always be notified. And if there's anything that you have a question on, certainly feel free to ask. If I can answer it in 1 or 2 sentences, I will. If it's something that's going to require deeper work with you, I'll also let you know that, okay? To those of you that are joining me again because you have subscribed and you're a regular viewer of my channel, thank you so much. That means the world to me. You have no idea. And I'm grateful to those of you who are new to my channel and who are just starting to tune in. There's a lot of information in these prior videos, so check those out, especially the one I made yesterday. And to those of you who contribute through donations, I'm just very, very appreciative of that. It keeps the work going. I'm in the process of this project that I'm doing and creating some more meditations. I know some of you have received them and been working with them and have let me know that the vibration coming through on them has amplified your field. So I'm so grateful. Feedback is very, very important in my work. It's very important for me to know how this work is helping you, if it is helping you, so that I could do more. And so, yeah, so I love you truly, so deeply. You have no idea. I see each and every one of you, even when you think I don't see you. I see you. You are always in my field, okay? So I just want you to know that, because that's how this works for me, all right? So have a beautiful weekend, whatever you're doing. Know that I love you deeply, and I look forward to connecting again with you soon, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.